So I've got this forklift fork here that I'm cutting using a chop saw, but it's because the bandsaw doesn't like to go through this stuff. It's so hard. It's going to take a while because it's almost 2 inches thick, but this is going to be the face for an anvil that I'm making, and then the bottom will be a solid block. So I'm just beveling the two pieces here, as you can see, using a grinding disc. So now the two pieces are beveled. So this is the forklift fork on the top, and then that regular mild steel plate on the bottom. So basically, got it all beveled here. I'm gonna fill it in with weld. So I'll get it tacked for now. Just throw a couple hot tacks on there once I get it all lined up. Okay, so it's pretty much lined up here. Just gonna lay the ground clamp on there and do a bit of a hot tack. Got a bit of a tangled mess here. There we go. I'll tack each corner. There we go. So now it's ready to weld. Preheated this thing a little bit with a tiger torch, and now I'm just welding away. Basically just gonna fill all these gaps, and then after I'll grind this all off, make it nice and smooth. Might try and grind off some of this rough part here. This was from the torch cutting, but yeah, overall it should be a pretty nice anvil. We'll see what kind of ring it has to it afterward. So it actually has a pretty good amount of rebound. And it's got a bit of a ring to it as well. And this is just like letting it drop basically. So yeah. Should be pretty good for someone to work on just as a budget anvil. I think it'll be pretty nice. I might even add something on here to make sort of a hardy hole. What I'm going to do for this hardy hole, basically I've got a piece of 1¼ 100 wall square tubing inside a piece of 1½ 100 wall. This gives me a 1-inch opening in the middle. I'm going to weld that all together, and then I'm going to weld that onto there. So what I'm doing here for the hardy hole is basically I've got a piece of 1½ 100 wall square tubing and a piece of 1¼ 100 wall inside of it. And the 1¼ has a 1-inch gap, so you can put your 1-inch hardy tools in there. And then I'm basically going to weld it onto there, weld it all down the sides, and then I'm going to basically put some thick plate around this and completely enclose it. That'll just be for cosmetic reasons mostly, but I'll also weld onto it so that it'll hold on there nicely. And then we'll have an anvil so you can put hardy tools on it, and it should work quite well. So I'm doing that hardy hole, and I'll just show you kind of what I've got going on here. So I've made this plate with the square tubing inside like I showed you. That goes all the way through as the hardy hole. It's all welded on the inside too, welded to there, so that's going to be pretty strong. And then I'm going to fill this all in with weld, and I'll put a piece over this too so that this whole thing basically looks like a solid chunk. And then this front part, this is going to be pretty strong because this is 1/2-inch plate and this is 3/4 inch plate. So this is going to be, you'll be able to hammer on this and use it as sort of like a flat horn. Should work pretty well. So I'm going to fill this all in, then grind everything flush and make it look nice. I've started the cleanup here, as you can see. So I've done a bit of the underside. I've got all this stuff welded in, so the hardy hole is inside there. It's looking pretty good so far. I just got to grind off all these welds, which is going to be quite a long process. And I'll make this thing look nice, and then I will probably build a stand for it. But it's getting pretty heavy. So I'm going to call this thing done now. Might make a stand for it, but this is the overall anvil here. As you can see, the forklift forks is made in France, but I put that upside down, so I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much, but it weighs 140 pounds right now. As you can see, you can put your 1-inch Hardy tools in there. Basically a 1-inch, there's a little bit of play, but that's good because then if stuff gets in there, it won't jam it up. So yeah, normally you do use hot rolled bar. This is just a piece of tubing, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, how it turned out. I didn't grind the welds completely off. Just gonna kind of leave them on there a bit. Smoothed off the top. It's quite nice, as you saw before. Got pretty good rebound. A little bit better rebound with a bigger hammer, but yeah, turned out pretty nice overall. Enjoyed making this one. Kind of reminds me of a boat. You almost need a horn on the other side to be a boat, but yeah, turned out pretty good. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.